Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I have not been live, what, about 2 or 3 weeks? So you guys come on into this live, say hi, hello, hey. I'm gonna try to behave. I'm gonna try to behave. I'm gonna try to behave. I can't make any promises though. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even make any promises. But as you come on into this live, say hi, hello, hey, all that awesome stuff. Those of you that are new to me, when I tell you I have received tons of new friend requests, I promise you, over the time since the last time I've been live, I promise you, it's been about 75 to 100 new friend requests. So those of you that are new to my space, welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches who desire to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. And so we do this by implementing my 5P framework, which allows for them to be able to create 5-figure months, weeks, and days in their coaching business. Hey, Letitia. Hey. And so you guys, like I said, it's been a while since I've been on here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I scroll my timeline. I'm like, Deb, where have you been? And so it's been a couple of reasons. I'm gonna be, y'all know, I'm always transparent with you guys. So part of the reason has been the challenge, the Prayer of Jabez challenge. It's throwing off my sleep pattern. Hey, Tisha, is it Taisha? Tisha, look, y'all know I'll jack a name up, but I'm sorry. Part of it has been this Prayer of Jabez challenge. So I get up at 5, and then once the challenge is over, I'll do some things, but then that sleep will hit me. And so I'll end up falling asleep in the morning and then get up and do my clients or finish, working or whatever. So that's part of why my sleep has been thrown off. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been live is because, like I said, my sleep pattern has been so crazy these past couple of weeks. But hey, I said, let me hop on in here because I hadn't seen you guys in a while. So I want to talk about a couple of things. One, with this Prayer of Jabez challenge, when I tell you, those ladies that are a part of this challenge, so a couple of weeks back, I announced I was doing a Prayer of Jabez 31-day challenge for Christian entrepreneurs. So they weren't even, I didn't even gear it specifically toward coaches, which is who I serve. But this one was open to any Christian entrepreneur that felt as if God had something big for them in 2023. And so today was actually, 2023, and today was actually day 23 of the challenge. And so with this challenge, the ladies, we came into it expecting, God to literally blow our minds. And I'm telling you, the level of revelation and renewal and clarity and all of this amazing stuff that these women have been experiencing has been, all we can say is God. All we can attribute it to is God himself, period. And so, but we also knew going into this that there was going to be some resistance. And even for myself, and I realized I hadn't even shared it with the ladies in the challenge. So I'll talk about it with them tomorrow. I was supposed to have my live event here in Atlanta. And so if you guys remember, I was supposed to initially do the event in November of 2022. And then it was supposed to be actually next week in March. And when I tell you the craziness with the venue in which I was supposed to have it, to the point where I called them, and it was last week, I said, I'm canceling this. I'm not doing this. And so when you saw me with the post last week about customer service, like, I don't understand how, and I'm talking this specifically, even with this topic here of what we're going to talk about today, you guys, you have to pay attention, especially as entrepreneurs and business owners, your customer service, your customer experience, you have to ensure that you keep your hand on that. And I'm always talking about operating in excellence and in integrity, to the point where the gentleman, I told him, I said, I'm going to keep this conversation very short. I said, because I want to remain professional in this conversation. I said, but I don't understand how you guys could operate like there was no phone calls back, contracts that were supposed to be signed never got signed. It was all of that stuff. And I'm like, how are y'all doing business like this? Like, I don't understand it. And he was like, all I could do is apologize. I'm so sorry. You know what? No. And so, although I really wanted to do the event because it's just something about being in person. It's just something about being in person. So I know when we finally get to do that event, I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I have to find a new venue, period, because I can't operate like that. I can't deal with that over there. You get yourself together, that type of thing. So let's go ahead and dive on into this conversation. Okay. So first of all, this conversation, for some of you guys, you're not going to like it, and I'm fine. I get it. I understand it. it. I always tell people I am not the coach for everybody, and I'm fine with that. I understand that God has people for everybody. And once again, I wasn't called to serve everyone. And as Christian female coaches, you were not called to serve everyone in your business anyway. That's actually a part of, if you want to make a lot of money. And so even that phrase, a lot of money, I want you to say that to yourself. I can make a lot of money with my coaching business. I can make a lot of money with my coaching business. And I want you to sit with what comes up for you when you say that phrase or when you think that phrase. I can make a lot of money with my coaching business. And that's actually one of the things, if you want to know how, there's going to have to be an adjustment in your mindset. Or one of the phrases that we've been talking about in the challenge is it has to be a paradigm shift. There's going to have to be a shift in your paradigm. And so I looked it up, what is a paradigm shift. And so I'm looking at the definition. So that's why I'm looking over to my left. And it says a paradigm shift is defined as an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. Once again, a paradigm shift is defined as an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. And even those of us that are part of the challenge, we have had some absolutely amazing paradigm shifts in what it is that we do and how it is that we've been operating. And a lot of us, we've been having to unlearn some things. And so even for myself, as I'm going through this challenge, the Prayer of Jabez challenge with the ladies, there are some things that I have to unlearn as well. And so even with that thought, like I said, and even you saying it, I can make a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money. I desire to make a lot of money. I am making a lot of money. I will, because my thing is I like to say I am making a lot of money because that makes it in the present and it means it's happening. I am making a lot of money with my coaching business, or I'm making a lot of money in my coaching business. But like I said, I also want you to sit with that and see if you feel anything. Like, do you feel anything in your throat? Do you feel anything in your stomach? Do you feel anything like in your chest area? And when I say anything, like, does it feel like there's a pressure there or an anxiety there, when you say that thing? Because where it is in your body, that's letting you know that there is some subconscious stuff going on. Although you may say a thing, subconsciously there's some resistance there. And so, like I said, that resistance, that pressure that you may feel. And once again, that is not new age. I want you to actually, like I said, think about and sit with that. Why are you feeling anxiety or why are you feeling anxiousness when you say, I am making a lot of money in my business? And specifically because I'm talking to coaches in my coaching business. Why do you feel that pressure or that anxiousness, that worry when you say that? What's going on with that? And like I said, pay attention to where you feel it in your body. Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you feel it in your throat? I want you to sit with the Holy Spirit and ask the Holy Spirit about that. What is going on with that? Where is that coming from? Why am I feeling that thing? Right? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you, Rakita. And so, you guys, like I said, I want you to think about that because for a lot of us, it's a paradigm shift. It's going to be a shift in our mindset, a paradigm shift, a completely new way of thinking about what it is and how it is. Because for some of us, like I said, if you feel it anywhere in your body, that needs to be addressed. That next part to that, because my next question, because notice what I said in the title of the live. In the title of my live, I said, how can I do this? How can I make a lot of money and still honor God? Because that's at least the women that I serve. That's their biggest thing. They want to ensure that they remain in alignment with what it is and how it is that God desires for them to operate in their business. They don't want to give in. They don't want to succumb to the spirit of mammon because once again, it's not about them chasing money. So this is the other part to this paradigm shift that I want you guys to really take into consideration, to really consider, to really implement when you're saying that I want to, or I am making a lot of money in my coaching business. Like I said, I like to put it in the present. I am making a lot of money in my coaching business. So the thing is, if that is your desire, and if that is what you're doing, you want to ask yourself, well, then what's the impact that I'm creating in order for me to make that level of money? Whatever, and notice I just said a lot. Everyone's definition of a lot is different. Your definition of a lot may be multi six figures. Your definition may be multi seven figures. It might be multi eight figures. I don't know. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your a lot is. But you want to ask yourself, what's that impact that I can create, that I can make? And literally, it's you partnering with God. What's that impact that I can create so that I'm able to generate that level of impact? Because think about it. If you're generating multi six figures, think about the level of impact that you're creating on the lives, the relationships, the health, the wealth, the career, however it is that you serve your people. What is the level of impact that you would have to create in order for you to generate revenue at that level? This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying there has to be a shift, a paradigm shift in the way that you're thinking, in the way that you're doing, changing out the old way that you were thinking about it, and creating a new way. It reminds me about renewing your mind, being transformed, being transformed and renewing your mind. And so once again, because the people that I serve, their goal is to honor God. And so in that honoring of God, they are asking, okay, God, what is that impact that I can create? How can I impact someone else? Because of course, when you create the impact, the income is going to come. So what is that impact that you're creating in order for you to generate revenue at that level? How can you impact people when it comes to their careers, their lives, their health, their relationship, however it is that you serve your people? So you want to ask yourself, what's the impact that's being created? What is the impact? And so my thing is continue to sit with God. And my thing is the impact will grow and evolve as you do. And so what I mean by that, it is okay because some of you guys, you're in this space where you're pivoting and you're shifting into a next level type of thing. And so how you may have served people in the past, you're no longer serving them in that capacity anymore. And it's okay. Because I promise you, God has raised up someone else to now serve at the level that you used to serve. God has now raised someone else up to now fill in that void for them. So now you can move to that next level that he has for you. Let me know in the chat, is this making sense? And so, like I said, even sitting with, we started this live off with you even sitting with, I am making a lot of money in my coaching business. I can make a lot of money in my coaching business. And I said, sit with what comes up for you and with you when you say that. I am making a lot of money in my coaching business. Because I see people all the time, specifically Christian coach. I'm going to be real, specifically my Christian coaches. Oh, I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a lot of money. It's not about you. It's not about you. And so as soon as you say that, once again, subconsciously, what's going to happen? You're not going to bring in a lot of money, whatever a lot is. And like I said, that is so relative. Everybody's definition of a lot is so relative. But my thing is, I always say, imagine what you could do with the level of income, the level of revenue. Think about what the big vision that God has given you. And if you had that level of revenue to match the vision, some of you guys, you're afraid of that. The level of revenue that would match the vision that God has for you, some of you guys are afraid of that level of revenue. What's causing that fear? Do you feel like if you had that level of revenue, it would change you? I don't think so. Are you afraid that you would not be a good steward of it? Are you afraid of how other people would start to respond and react to you? Are you afraid of the person you would have to become to receive at that level? Is there a fear there? Because my thing is, like I said, you always think about it from the level of impact. If you were generating revenue at that level. So not too long ago, I did a live and I'm like, hey, you guys, put in the chat how much you would desire to make each month. And so say, for instance, you wanted to do $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. Have you actually sat down and wrote out where that money would go each month? Have you sat down and wrote it out? Where would it go? Do it for the next 12 months. Some of you got to do it for the next 6 months. Have you sat and told that money where it would go? How would you use that money to impact other people? Hey, Dr. Sade, how would you use that money to impact other people? You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, sit down and tell that money where to go. Sit with the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, what would I do if I made, whatever your monthly revenue goal is? Like I said, $50,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $100,000 a month for the next 6 months. Sit down with them and map out where it would go. This part right here. This is where you know it's not about you. Rakita said, I want to make a lot of money, not only because of how I want to live, but because there are other Christian center, Christ center organizations I want to be able to support, and people I want to be able to support is so much bigger than me. And it really and truly is. A lot of you guys have a heart for certain groups of people. Imagine if money was no object, because technically it's not. And you wouldn't have to worry about the amount of money in the account. So if they needed a check written out, do they even say that anymore? Write a check out. Look, so if a check needed to be written, would you be able to write that check with no hesitation? You don't have to worry about what's in the account because it's there. So being able to write that check. And one of the things that we've been talking about in the prayer of Jabez 31 day challenge is imagine us as believers in business if each one of us took over our community. And so now our hands are in the community. We don't have to worry about, there's no stress about money. I don't have to stress about working 2 or 3 jobs trying to make ends meet just in my household. But if you had enough and that money is coming through the multiple streams through your business, so each and every day you get to get up and spend time with the Holy Spirit. Okay, how are we going to impact this community today? Okay, which organization are we going to partner with today? Which school are we going to go into today? Which business or organization? Imagine if we could take over in our communities and have more businesses that were owned by believers in business in our organizations. Think about how that would impact your community that you live. So your immediate community, and then expand out, expand that circle, expand the radius out. We will literally be able to take over the community. So the question is, what's stopping you from doing that now? Because you always want to say, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do now with the resources that I currently have now, knowing that, hey, the God that we serve has endless resources. And so I'm not even limited to what it is that I can do. But how am I being faithful over what I have right now? What can I do right now? How can I impact right now? And then, like I said, it grow from there. I'm always so inspired when I see these stories. And yes, some of these stories that you see on the news, they're big stories. Hey, somebody's child teacher, was taking 15 buses to get to school, so they bought the teacher a car. How powerful would that be? For some of you guys, it's just a matter of when you're in the grocery store, hey, I'm going to pay for this person behind me. It doesn't even matter how much is in their car. I don't even care. Just swipe my card. We're going to pay for the person behind me. Imagine that. Do you understand that you just became someone else's miracle? Because you don't understand how that person may have been praying, oh my God, I don't even know if I got enough in here right here. And I don't even know if I got enough in my account to cover what's in this card. And then you're like, hey, swipe this card. Or even just having the time. Because a lot of times it's not even about the money, it's your time. But we are so caught up in doing the thing, like I said, to keep up with whatever's going on, that we don't even have the time. And that's another thing that we were talking about in the challenge. We're so busy and so focused on what's going on with us. But having the time to just be open to look around and to see what's going on around us, to see how we may be able to be a blessing to someone else. Imagine that. So like I said, when it comes to that whole phrase of I am making a lot of money, I have a lot of money, whichever way you want to say it, always lead with that. What's going to be the impact? What's going to be the impact? And like I said, the impact on your life and your business and your family, the impact that you're having on the lives of other people, the impact in your community. Like, once again, think about the impact. Lead with that impact. So once again, that impact. And so, like I said, the very first thing was that mindset, the shift in our mindset. So for some of us, it has to be a shift in our mindset, that paradigm shift. And once again, the definition of a paradigm shift, an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. So for some of you guys, it's time for some paradigm shifts, mindset wise. Some of you guys, you need to adjust your offer. Y'all, there needs to be an adjustment in some of you guys' offer and how you're structuring your offer. Some of you guys, you're showing up way too much, trying to justify the pricing on things. Some of you guys are offering things because you've seen other people do it, but it's not in alignment with how you desire to do business. Some of you guys, there needs to be an adjustment in your offer. Once again, for some of you guys, it's going to be a paradigm shift, because once again, you're going to be, the way that you think about it is going to be different. Because remember, an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. So for some of you guys, there's going to be a paradigm shift. There has to be a paradigm shift when it comes to how you're structuring your offers. Once again, I've had clients where, yeah, babe, I meet with my clients 2 days a week. Why are you doing that? Well, I know the root of it is fear. You're trying to justify the price. You guys, I'm telling you, there are so many ways that you can offer your services. I'm just saying. So for some of you guys, there needs to be an adjustment in your offer, the way that you're offering your services. So that way, like I said, it remains in alignment with how you desire to do things. It remains in alignment with the people that you serve. And then those that want a different level or a higher touch point, you can have that structured as well. But it doesn't mean you have to meet with them 15 times a week. You don't. So like I said, some of you guys, there needs to be an adjustment in how you structure your offer. Some of you guys, an adjustment in what it is that you're offering, because what you're offering is no longer in alignment with the type of people that you want to serve. The level of client that you desire to serve, the way that your offer is structured, that's the reason why you're not signing those, and specifically high ticket clients, because of how your offer is, because of what it is that you're offering them. You're putting a low ticket solution in front of a high ticket client, and it doesn't work that way. So that's why they're not moving. That's why they're not moving. Because you're putting a low ticket structured offer in front of a high ticket client, and that's not how that works. And then along with the adjustment in your offer, some of you guys, your pricing, mighty God, there needs to be an adjustment with your pricing. You're putting, once again, low ticket offer in front of high ticket, or trying to put this low ticket offer, low ticket price point in front of these high ticket people. And when they're seeing it, their automatic assumption is something's wrong with it. There's something wrong with this. There we go, Regina. She said, my team requires a mindset shift when it comes to price point for the experiences I'm offering. I'm praying on that. So like I said, some of you guys, there needs to be an adjustment in your pricing. Time and time and time again, I have had coaches come to me with $2,000 offers. By the time we've gotten done with it, with the way that we adjusted their offer, we adjusted their pricing. Now they're selling it for $5,000. They're selling it for $7,500. They're selling it for $15,000. The same offer that you were just trying to sell for $2,000, and wondering why you can't sell it. Because once again, you're putting a low ticket solution in front of, or you're trying to put a low ticket solution in front of a high ticket client, and that's not how it works. There has to be an adjustment in your pricing, because when that high ticket client is looking at that, they're like, what is wrong? There's something wrong with that. All of this stuff that they got jam packed up in here, I don't need all that. I don't need all of that. But you're cramming it all in there, trying to justify that price point on there. And that's why for some of you guys, it's time for you to change who it is that you're speaking to. For that very reason that Rakita just said. She said, and conversely, I love people who are expecting a high quality coach for $500. Well. So in addition to that adjustment in your pricing, once again, if you did it, I am making a lot of money in my coaching business. How do I do that? Once again, there has to be that adjustment in your mindset. So once again, a paradigm shift, and even how you're thinking about, even when we say a lot of money, what does that even mean to you? If you desire to make a lot of money in your coaching business, then once again, some of you guys are going to have to do an adjustment of your offer. For some of you guys, it's going to have to be an overhaul of the offer, how you actually view the offer, the transformational impact. And some of you guys, it's how it's structured. Some of you guys, when it comes to generating a lot of money in your coaching business, you're going to have to make an adjustment in your pricing. And once again, it's not just about adding a zero onto the end of the program, of the price. It's not just slapping a zero on the end. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works, especially if there has not been an adjustment in your mindset. And also if there has not been an adjustment in number 4, which is your messaging. So once again, I'm not going to lie. One of the fastest ways, if your goal is $15,000 a month, if your goal is $50,000 a month, if your goal is $100,000 a month, the fastest way to get there is to adjust your pricing. But what people will say, raise your price, raise your price, raise your price, raise your price. But then they don't talk about this part right here, which is there's going to have to be an adjustment in your messaging. Because like I say all the time, that $1,500 client, their needs are different from that client that's desiring to invest $7,500, $15,000, $100,000 to work with you. What it is and how it is that they need to get to the solution is different. Once again, some of you guys are putting low ticket offers in front of high ticket clients and wondering why they're not buying. Because when they look at that thing, they're like, no, I don't need that. Because one of the things that you will learn when it comes to high ticket clients and signing high ticket clients, they don't need this whole big long drawn out scenario. When they're ready to buy, they're ready to buy. But have you given them an opportunity to buy from you? Do you have that solution for them? That part there. And so, Rakita, yes, ma'am. I'll say it again. The fact that I say right off the bat, on my intake form, what my coaching prices start at, I have less people wasting my time. I love it. I'm just not their coach. And that's the thing. They come in and say, okay, well, I'm not financially in a position right now to work with Rakita, but I'll be back if they really want that solution at the level that Rakita can support them in achieving. Then they're going to figure it out. But it doesn't mean that Rakita goes down on her price points. No, because she knows what it is and the transformations that her people experience as a result of working with her. So her price points remain where they are. They're going to have to come up to that level, those people who are not already there. And then the people who are already there, they're like, oh my gosh, about time. And that's the thing. So like I said, a lot of you guys are adjusting your pricing. You're going up on your pricing, but your messaging hasn't changed. And once again, you're wondering why people are not buying. So you have to ensure that that messaging is in alignment with the price point. And like I said, one of those pieces, especially when you're adjusting your offer and when you're talking about your offer, once again, you lead with that transformation. It is the transformation that they're going to experience as a result of working with you. Once again, I'm not going to invest $5,000 for your 12 Zoom calls and for a workbook. I'm not doing that. That doesn't even make sense. When they look at the transformation or the outcome, when they look at the outcome versus having that money in the bank. So their thing is, okay, would it make more sense for me to leave the money in the bank, or would it make more sense for me to invest in this solution with Regina? When they look at what it is that you're offering versus leaving the money in the account, it is a no-brainer for them to go ahead and say, no, I'm going to go ahead and invest this $7,500. I'm going to go ahead and invest this $20,000 to work with Regina. Period. And it does not matter what type of coach you are. I don't care if you are a life coach, a purpose coach, a business coach, a sales. I don't care. There are literally people out there that will invest $10,000 to work with you, $20,000 to work with you, $100,000 to work with you. But the question is, do you know how to position yourself as that type of coach? Or are you still positioning yourself as the coach that's offering $47 workshops with no upsell? $47 workshop, and then the upsell and there's $100 offer, and they're sitting here looking like the $100, that's not going to solve this problem that I have. Would it make sense for you to do a workshop or a master class? Would it make sense for me to do a challenge? Would it make sense for me just to, hey, here's the link, let's schedule a call? You have to understand when it comes to, especially when it comes to dealing with high ticket clients, the way that they buy is different. Do you understand how it is that they buy? If not, that's going to really impact you when it comes to making a lot of money in your coaching business. Because some of you guys are like, hey, babe, I have a high ticket offer. I don't know, you got a $7,500 offer, but then you got the payment stretched over the next 12 months, 24 months. How are you going to be able to live like that? Especially those of you that desire to be in your business full time. You desire to have a team. Because imagine that. This is another thing too that really and truly shifted my mindset when it came to the money that's coming into my business. Because now when I'm able to now have a team, aren't I now employing other people? So now aren't I now impacting their lives as well? Even when it came to the help that I have around my house. And I told you guys I had to have paradigm shifts around that. Well, Ben, you live by yourself. Why can't you cook your own food? Why can't you clean your own house? And the shift in my mindset was, you know what? Now I get to invest in someone else's business. Their employees. Now I get to, you see what I'm saying? And so even for yourself, when it comes to you being a business owner, the team, so that way you're not doing everything by yourself. So now you have other people that you're now employing or contracting or whichever way you want to say it, that are now a part of your business. And so now, once again, being able to support them as well as you're going on your journey as well. There we go. There we go. So here's Rakita. Rakita said, she said, She said, oh, Bev, you'd be proud of me. This is the third time I've launched my group program, and this time was the charm. The third time's the charm. I have women who enrolled. I had to keep going back to the drawing board to figure out the tweaking in the messaging. And I'm glad you said that, Rakita, because once again, there are some people that would have given up after the first try. Okay, this is not going to work. So let me go ahead and do something else. Let me create something else. Let me go ahead and create a low ticket offer because no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You continue to get out in front of your audience. You continue to remain consistent. You continue to tweak your messaging as well. And now imagine, Rakita said, I almost gave up on the program. And imagine if she would have given up on the program, those people that wouldn't have gotten the solution that they've been seeking. Well, hey, there are other coaches out there to do what I do. So yeah, but they wouldn't have gotten that solution at the level with the anointing that Rakita has on their life, on her life. So they would not have gotten the level of result working with someone else. And that's the thing. So you guys, I'm telling you, it's so many people that's tied to what it is that we do as coaches. Are we showing up or are we giving up because it's not looking the way that we thought? So I'm telling you, if you, like I said, whatever your definition of a lot of money is, that is my desire. I want as many specific, I ain't gonna lie, Christian female coaches, I want you making lots of money in your business. But in order for you to do that, like I said, there are going to be some things you're going to have to adjust. Your mindset, your offer, your pricing, your messaging. They're going to have to be, and once again, a lot of it is small tweaks. And that's the biggest thing. It doesn't even have to be this major overhaul. For some of you guys, it's just small tweaks and how you're showing up. And then when you do show up, what is it that you're saying and doing when you're showing up in those spaces? The conversations that you're having, who is it that you're speaking to? Are you, because they're already in your current audience. Once again, you don't have to change your audience. They're in your current, I talk about this all the time. You have at least 50,000, at least 60,000 in your current audience right now. Do you know how to tap into that $60,000 right now? Do you know how to do that? Because it's there. Once again, you don't have to change your audience. You don't have to get out in front of a whole new audience. Now, you can continue to show up and grow your audience. You can certainly do that. But so many of you think that, oh my gosh, I got to show up for the next 75 days, for the next 150 days and just give stuff for free. No, that is not true. And anyone that's telling you that you have to show up for the next, 60 days, 75, 90 days and just give stuff away for free. How in the world can you maintain a business like that where everything is free? You can actually do both. You can show up and give value and also offer your services at the same time. Like you can actually do both. I don't have to do one over the other. Hey, Dr. Peggy. Like I said, I can show up over the next 60 days, the next 30 days, the next 90 days, the next 120 days, the next 365 days, give value, and also offer my services. I can do both. So don't fall into the trap that you have to show. No, that is not true, because I always say, so you're going to make someone wait 30 days to receive that transformation. You're going to make someone wait 60 days before they can experience that transformation. You're going to make somebody wait 365 days. Like, that don't even make sense to me. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you make the people wait like that? I'm just asking. I don't know. So you guys, like I said, this right here, these 4 things that I talked about, and once again, led off with the impact. Ask yourself, what is that impact? How can I impact? What is the impact that I can create that will allow for me to make or bring in a lot of money? Once again, whatever your definition of a lot is. And one thing that I always tell people as well, don't you dare allow anyone else to guilt you into whatever you want to use that money for. Don't allow anybody else to guilt you into, oh my God, I can't believe you said it. You want to look at that. You want to do that because you want to travel. You want to do that because you want to be able to send your kids to private school. They better go into that public school like everybody else. Don't you allow anybody else to guilt you into what it is that God has shown you for the vision for your life and your family, period. Don't you allow somebody to put their mouth on the dream, on the vision that God has given you, period. I'm just saying. Okay. So you guys, I'm telling you, these are 4 things. So I think I was pretty good. I think I behaved. I actually think I behaved on this live. Like I said, I hadn't been live in a minute. I missed it. I'm going to have to go live again tomorrow. Y'all going to see me again tomorrow, because it's been a while since I've been live. But I'm telling you guys, once again, it's out there for you. It's out there for you. People are doing it. Once again, people are making a lot. Now, some people say they are, they ain't. But there are people, and once again, whatever your lot, a lot is. And so my thing is, I just want to ensure that you're positioned mindset-wise, that paradigm shift, the offer-wise, pricing-wise, messaging-wise, to attract those people. And once again, there are going to be people who will come to you when your messaging is powerful and it's resonating with you. Somebody reached out to me the other day, and she was like, hey, I'm interested in your program. I'm like, which one? I wasn't even sure she was newer. She was one of the people that sent me a new friend request. I'm like, oh, I'm like, how did she even see what it was that I was offering? But when you show up and you show up with that intent and being intentional, then watch what happens. The people are going to come to you. But like I said, don't be afraid to also have conversations with other people as well. Being able to reach out to people. There's such things as inbound marketing and outbound marketing. So inbound, and that's what one of the things here in the online space that gets on my nerves with people. And they'll talk about the inbound, where people are just, where people are reaching out to them, but what they're not telling you is they're also doing outbound marketing as well. My thing is, be truthful in what it is that you're doing. And that's why even with us in the prayer of Jabez, we're on the part now where we're saying, and keep me from evil that I do not cause pain. And one of the things that I've been mentioning to them is about truth in your marketing. And once again, whole other story. In prayer of Jabez, we're going to continue to talk about that. But once again, you got to be really careful about who you align yourself with in this online space, because once again, there's deceptive marketing out there, and they teach it to people. And I'm like, why? There's nothing wrong with talking about the fact that you incorporate both. I can have content out there that will draw the people in, but then there's also conversations that I'm having with people as well about what it is that I offer. Now, like I said, I'm not just randomly reaching out and messaging people. It's all in that messaging, though, that will allow for you to be able to figure out who it is that I do start those conversations with and how to get those conversations started, period. So that type of thing. Okay. So you guys, like I said, I want to hop on here. I have not had a conversation with you guys in a minute. Now, of course, those of you, if you're interested in my 60K in 60 days program, I've been talking about this for a while. We're kicking off cohort 2 on Wednesday, March the 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mighty guy. It says where you're going to generate at least $60,000, because like I said, you have at least 60, and that's what, pay attention to my wording. I'm saying at least $60,000 in 60 days, because that's how much you have in untapped revenue right now in your current audience. And so over these 60 days, literally, we're going to have weekly messaging labs, because remember, I was talking about your messaging. So we're going to have these weekly messaging labs where literally during our session, we're going to not only work on the messaging, but we're going to actually put it out during the call, because my goal is during our sessions, I want you generating revenue. But also, of course, when we're not meeting as well, you're generating revenue in between our calls as well. So there are going to be people that are literally going to report in that they closed sales while we were having our sessions. So we'll have our weekly messaging labs. We'll have pricing labs. We're going to have offer labs. So once again, the tweaks that you may need to make to your offer. So whether or not it's the structure, whether or not it's how you're actually talking about it, we're going to have lead generation labs. So literally there are going to be sessions where we're going to have, lead gen, where you're actually going to put out, there's going to be certain content that you put out that's going to literally generate leads for you. Like you're going to literally have people that are going to raise their hand and say, hey, Letitia, I'm interested in what it is that you have to offer. Hey, Rakita, I'm interested in what it is that you have to offer, that type of thing. So we'll have these lead generation labs, and then we'll have sales labs as well. And those labs, the purpose of the sales labs is for you to, be able to hone in and refine more so that you can close more sales in your business. And so that's how we get to this $60,000 in 60 days. Once again, there'll be people in this particular cohort that will do $60,000 in a month. I want you guys to be in the room with people who are closing sales at that level while they are still honoring God. I want you guys to be able to see that you can do both. I don't have to compromise one for the other, but I can actually have both. Look, it doesn't mean I'm chasing money. If once again, I'm able to close $30,000 in a week, $30,000 in a day. Like I said, imagine if you close $30,000 in a day, what type of impact would that have, not only on you and your household and your business, but the people that you now get to serve through that service. So I want more Christian female coaches to have that experience. I want you to be able to have that experience. And so once again, if you are interested in the 60K and 60-day program, once again, it is for established coaches. So I always like to clarify this. So that means you have sold a 4-figure offer and you have an audience. You sold a 4-figure offer, you have an audience. Then once again, then the 60K and 60 days program might be for you. The next cohort 2, we kick off on Wednesday, March the 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The investment for it is $2,500 if you pay in full, or 2 payments of $1,500. Once again, the investment is $2,500 if you pay in full. So imagine investing $2,500 and generating at least 60. You do the math on that. Or you can do 2 payments of $1,500. Once again, we're keeping the cohort at 12. And one of the young ladies that reached out to me, I told her, I said, because like I said, she's newer to my brand. I'm like, I'm going to let you know now, I'm all up in your business. I'm all up in your business. I'm looking at the posts that you're putting out there. If you have a Facebook group, I'm looking at that, getting on your email list, all of those things, because I need to have my eyes and ears and all of that. I need to be able to see what's going on, because remember, we're going to talk about your messaging. We're talking about your offer. So I need to see what it is that you're putting out there. So there are going to be times where I'm popping up in your messenger. Hey, and I always ask permission. Hey, do you mind if I provide you with some feedback on what you, that's when you see that, you already know I got something for you, that type of thing. And so, like I said, I need to get back to serving my clients at this level. And once again, creating these and cultivating these containers with Christian female coaches that are creating and closing at this level, getting back to that, because once again, there's something mighty powerful where, like I said, you're now creating 5-figure weeks. So what you were doing, in a month, you're now doing it in a week, or you're now doing it in a day. I need more of you guys to experience consistently closing 5-figure weeks and closing 5-figure days. I just need you guys just to have that experience. I need you to have that experience. And so once again, like I said, 60K in 60 days, that group program is open back up. Cohort 2 kicks off on Wednesday, March the 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, we have these weekly labs. One thing that you will not see is a link out there for you to click on and sign up, because I need you to message me. I need to have a conversation with you first to ensure that this is a good fit, because I'm telling you, over these 60 days, it's going to be intense. And when I say intense, in the sense of these paradigm shifts that I was talking about, because I'm going to challenge you on some of your mindset. I'm going to challenge you on how you have your offer and how it's priced and all of those things. And so that's what I mean when I say it's intense in that sense. Like, it's going to literally be paradigm shifts. But on the other side of that thing, when you get to see, oh my gosh, like, God, look at this. Look at this. God, look at this. Like, this is how this business, this is what it is. This is how it is. Because I feel like for a lot of us, God is literally waiting on us. He's literally waiting on us. He was like, daughter, yeah, you can continue to sell it at $47 if you want to. You can. But what if you could sell that same thing for $4,000? Would you do it? Most of us would say, yeah, if I knew how to put that messaging out there, if I knew how to price it, if I knew how to consistently put it in front of the right people, that type of thing. Hey, Tanisha, how are you? Hey. So like I said, I hadn't been live in a minute. So here I am hopping on here, and I actually behaved. I thought I was very good today. So you guys, that's all that I have. Once again, if you're interested in my 60K in 60 days program, please reach out to me, so that we can have a conversation about whether or not that type of environment and that type of container is a good fit. But like I said, I need more of my Christian female coaches to experience these 5-figure weeks and these 5-figure days, so that you can see the possibility. And then for a lot of you guys, when you experience that, you realize, wow, it doesn't have to be hard. It will take me showing up consistently. It will take me believing in what it is and how it is that God has called for me to show up and serve my people. Because like I said, some of you guys can do you can have a $60,000 day depending upon your offer. So whether or not it's coaching, some of you guys, I keep telling you, tap into that consulting side or what it is that you do. You can sign a $60,000 contract, and it might be a 2-day workshop that you do for $60,000. I'm just saying. All right. So you guys, that's all that I have. So once again, if you are interested in my 60K in 60 days program, reach out to me. We can have a conversation to see whether or not it's a good fit. If so, then we'll hop on a quick 15-minute call. When I say 15-minute, a quick 15-minute call. And then we'll do the payment, and then we'll keep it moving. Once again, because we'll have a call. The two of us will have a call, a one-on-one session. So that we can map out some things as well. So if you are interested, once again, reach out to me. The investment is $2,500 if you pay in full, or 2 payments of $1,500. Like I said, $2,500, $60,000. There you go. All right. So you guys, thank you so much for hopping on in here. Once again, I have not been live in a minute, so I had to show my face. You're gonna see me. Look, it felt good, so I'll be on here more consistently. So you guys, I thank you. I will see you on the other side of this live. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Thank you guys so much. See you on the other side of this live.